It was action-packed, it was dramatic, and it was an intense thrill to watch. This is the real opening to Titans Season 2! What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on Episode 2 of Titans Season 2. So, this right here, this was the true opening to Titans Season 2, and it worked to its advantage. It was amazing. It was awesome. The character-driven moments of each and every one of the characters that were in here, from the old Titans to the new Titans to where they were in last week's episode to where they are now, because there is a time jump in this episode. 3 months have passed, and you can tell they have all changed. They're all different, and yet at the same time, they're all about to face things from their pasts. But not only that, the introduction to the few new characters we get here, they did a great job with their acting skills there, and it definitely shows that they got a lot of potential and more to show as the series goes on. This season is off to an amazing start. The season's off to an awesome run here, and I can't wait to see more of it as time goes on here, and especially with Rose Wilson. But never mind, since we are already going to talk about her, and since she is the star of this episode, let's go ahead and talk straight on about her. Yes, the episode is called Rose, meaning Rose Wilson, who when we first are introduced to her, she is finding a card that she just decides to go Grand Theft Auto on. and man, let me just say that when she did that, and then just stealing that car and running from the police and all, that car chase was really cool. I mean, it was like almost movie level there, those car chases, because yeah, movie level car chases are even bigger than TV show car chases, but that still doesn't mean car chases in TV shows can still be just as good as movies, if not better. And then the fight choreography scene that Rose goes into when she's fighting those guys was awesome. Chelsea, you're off to an amazing start. You're already convincing me of you being Rose Wilson when you fight. And then when you start to talk, especially after escaping from the policeman and Grayson ends up finding you, your interaction between the two of them, yes, Chelsea, awesome job. You're already convincing me that you're Rose Wilson, and you're doing great. I can't wait to see what else you have up your sleeves, because the thing with Grayson is the reason he picked her up, because, well, he likes to pick up broken birds, as it were, because that's how Raven puts it. And yeah, the only difference is bringing up this broken bird is that Rose Wilson doesn't want help. She just wants to keep on being on the run because she's on the run from somebody. She just doesn't tell Grayson who it is, but we all know who it is. And eventually, Jason Todd and the rest of the Titans know who it is by going on the by like researching her through the DNA blood on her old eye patch when Grayson replaces it with a brand new one. And yeah, they find out it's Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. The only difference here being is that Beast Boy didn't know that Slade Wilson was Deathstroke, but Jason Todd, he works with Batman and everything, so he knows straight off the bat that Slade Wilson is aka Deathstroke. And when Garfield name dropped Rose Wilson's full name as Rose Wilson and saying who her father was, the scene where it showed where Jason had his eyes opened up wide, realizing who her father is, and the music been laying in the background right there, that was solid right there, man. Now that was a great way to put Jason into that freaked out moment of knowing who she's connected with, who Rose Wilson is connected with. And I can't wait to see when he confronts and tells Grayson about that. Because Grayson, he doesn't know about Rose Wilson being Deathstroke's daughter. Because while he did rescue her and went through some of the things of some of her belongings to find out who she is, he didn't go through everything completely, whereas Jason Todd decided to do that. So when that happened, oh yeah, and Rose did give Grayson her name. She just gave her gave him her first name, though. But yes, it does sound like, though, she's going to be sticking around for a while. She at first wasn't going to stick around, but she did put a little trust in Grayson to give her name and accept a phone with Grayson's number, and especially since Grayson could tell that she's a metahuman, just like the people he's training. So, yes, we're definitely going that she's going to be sticking around for a while, especially after what happened at the end with Grayson's car exploding, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But let's now go into, like, Starfire and Donna Troy. Since they had a small arc going here, yeah, it's showing them that they have now become something of like some bickering good friends, because that's exactly what it shows here. Corey decided not to go with Grayson and the others at the end of episode 1, and as 3 months have passed, she's decided to stay with Donna Troy, and I guess they're now like cops or FBI, because they're on the lookout for a criminal, that being Shimmer, who Donna Troy has some history with, because when those two were talking, they were talking like old rivals with a friendly animosity towards each other, like respect to each other. But the relationship between Donna Troy and Corey has really changed since then, and I liked it, because how like Donna Troy was complaining to Corey that she didn't bring jam when she went to get donuts, and Corey was like, "Why? Who gets jams? Nobody likes jam." That was very funny. And Donna Troy's just pretty much taking that as saying people on Terra may not like jams, but we humans do. But of course, Donna Troy forgot that she's half human there. But here's something really interesting during their whole time together, is that during the whole scenes they had together or so, a famous Titan's name was dropped, and he was a founding member, that being Roy Harper. Yes, Roy Harper's name was dropped by Donna Troy, and then Roy Harper's name showed up on her phone after they captured Shimmer, so we could probably see Roy Harper in the future. Boy, that'll be something. While all that went on, Starfire got a visit from someone from Tamarin who has kidnapped her. I wonder why here, because that's something can't wait to see there. And then now let's go into Hawk and Dove, because they also make an appearance in this episode. And the appearance they make in this episode show that, yeah, they're living the quiet, happy life out in an open field in Wyoming, and Hank is busy helping out kids who went through the same drugs and physical problems that he went through. And while Dove, the life she's made, is still doing vigilante work without telling Hank, but eventually he finds out and he's not happy, well, because of what happened with the nuclear family and Dawn being in a coma. But Dawn's doing this for him, and I get both sides to the story, so it's hard to really say what to do. But hey, that's relationships for you, and when it comes to relationships, you're always going to run into that sort of thing where you got to try to figure it out. But I do get Dawn there. She's doing this to knock out all these drugs and other people so they don't come anywhere near Hank, that he might end up going back to that stuff after all the physical pain and drugs and all that stuff he went through and everything. She just doesn't want that, and she has confidence in herself, while Hank has no confidence in himself. But here's the thing, while all these guys from Grayson to the Titans and everyone were doing their things for 3 years now, such as the training and stuff, they had some enemies in the background making their moves, such as one of the two big bads for this season, Dr.Light, who makes his first debut. He escaped, he was in prison, but he has escaped and shows off his power, absorbing that light and then putting it inside his victims and then making them light up and explode. Yikes. And I mean, really, yikes. But the special effects for it is amazing, and I do like how the actor is playing this guy as Dr. Light. He looks like he's enjoying the role and having fun with it, and I do like how he's making all that movement and motion to show what his powers are capable of. I can't wait to see what he brings to the table as one of the big bads. And also, he already puts out a calling card for the older Titans, that being Grayson and Hawk and Dove, because at the end of both those scenes there, such as when I mentioned how Grayson's car exploded, that was because of Dr. Light. He had like lit something up in Grayson's car behind the seat when he was talking with Rose, and then it exploded. While that kid that Hank was working with, he shows up at their place and his body just lights up and explodes and destroys the entire house. And here's the thing, though. Also, now I'm pretty sure this has nothing to do with it, but that Tamarani who kidnapped him shows up, and then Don calls Donna to tell her to come to the tower, because in the end, after what the Dr. Light's in that message that he's back, that's making all of them go to San Francisco so they can talk with Grayson about an old enemy of theirs. And yet, still, I feel like all of this was all a coordinated attack. And here's the thing. Yes, it was Dr. Light, but here's the thing. Who freed Dr. Light from his prison? This is where I think it was Deathstroke, because Deathstroke, he has always been famous for setting up things to happen so he can get info on what's going on here. And I can't help but think it was all set up by him. And who knows, maybe his daughter Rose Wilson is also a part of this. Like, she's pretending to be like on the run from her father and stuff, but I like to think she really is, because the way she's acting and stuff really shows that she is. But that's the thing about Rose Wilson. She's an anti-hero in her attitude and stuff, so it's hard to really say for certain if she is or is not being an undercover spy and not. But either way, whether she is or isn't, I don't care. I've just been a big fan of Rose Wilson all my life. She's one of my favorite anti-heroines, and seeing her on screen is a joy to see. It really is. Also, I forgot to actually talk about Raven and Beast Boy, who don't really have much to do in this episode, but it was still great to see them have scenes of their own. And like one scene in particular are those two talking to each other and looking like a romance is blossoming there. And also the interaction Jason Todd and Garfield had during a training session when like Jason got mad that Garfield had hit him on the head while he was blindfolded. And the thing was, Jason told him not to hold back, which he didn't. But he didn't hit him hard, and yet Jason's getting mad and bickering and arguing and being an asshole to him, saying, "Why'd you hit me on the head, man?" Especially, and Beast Boy's just like, "You told me not to hold back." You see, guys, the interaction in here is amazing. They're doing awesome. I love it too. I also forgot to mention one more thing about Jason Todd, because Bruce makes an appearance in here, but only to give Grayson advice as he's working with Rose Wilson. But it turns out the condition that Bruce made with Grayson that in last week's episode is that he wants him to train Jason Todd because he feels Jason Todd's not ready, which is true. I mean, doing the things he did while Bruce wasn't at home, nor was Alfred, is pretty much making sense on why he's trying to train him. And even though and also Grayson, he knows he's not Robin anymore, and he's still trying to figure out who he is, because he's fully given the moniker of Robin to Jason Todd, who is pretty much now becoming the field leader for Garfield and Rachel, who look up to him. At least that's what Grayson said. Although he doesn't know, because Jason Todd feels that he shouldn't be there. He should be in Gotham, because he's getting impatient with it. But I'm pretty sure this will all be a part of his arc for whatever it is we're going to see going with him coming in as season 2 goes along. Because it is said that him and Rose Wilson are going to have a close bond, which is no surprise there. And he already shows interest in her as it is. So this will definitely be something funny to see and really awesome to see as well. So I definitely can't wait to see what we got going here and what Rose Wilson brought to the table. What Chelsea has Rose Wilson brought to the table right now. I like it. I like where we're heading here, and I can't wait to see more of her in action and more of her interaction with the team. She's already opening up a little to Grayson, where it looks like they'll form their own sort of friendship. Because, hey, in the comics, she actually had a one-sided crush on Grayson when Grayson was training her. So I definitely would like to see if that happens, and that makes Jason jealous that it'll end up causing another clash between him and Grayson. Oh, that'll be funny. But definitely, guys, this was a great way to start season 2, especially if you go into this one looking at it as the real opening to season 2 for the rest of the episodes going forward. I'm thinking, yes, and after everything that happened, it was all coordinated by Destro, and there's going to be a big setup to where the team where it's all going to be the team of the old times and the new times working together to take on Dr. Light and Deathstroke and whoever all is associated with them. Maybe that Tamaradian guy is associated with them, or just one of the pieces that is part of the real people who are going after the Titans. I don't know. All I know is it's looking awesome, and I can't wait to see more for it to come. But until then, guys, that'll be all for today. And if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!